Wow, I'm a bit nervous. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, so I have put in a new habit in an app called TikTok. The habit is recording, and that's why I'm recording. I've been quite lazy in recent months when it comes to recording, and I'm planning to do this full time, and yet I've been lazy when it comes to recording. Like, how is that? How does that make sense? Like, I'm recording. I'm I want a career in recording things, talking things, but also I'm not going to record or practice. Yeah, my hair is a little messed up. My beard is full. I shouldn't be wearing these glasses, but here I am. Look, it's just been 1 minute, and I'm already out of ideas. So I've been planning to do like a diary podcast of sorts, to make my podcast a diary, or like a public version of diary. So instead of like pre-planned scripts, which I was doing, and problem with just a minute. Uh, yeah, the problem with like pre-planned scripts is that I was too monotonous and boring. Here, I'm a lot more spontaneous, but also boring. But in the future, I'm not going to be boring because I'm spontaneous. It's emotions are going to come out more and more and slowly through spontaneity, instead of like scripting things. And like podcasting shouldn't be a script. Like I have considered the core audience of podcasting, and I came to conclusion that podcasting is much more passive form of entertainment. Like active forms of entertainment are games and sports and all that. Uh, I mean, somewhat passive forms of entertainment are movies and TV shows, where just, or like even YouTube videos, you just press play and you just watch. But podcasting is even more passive, where you're doing something while you're listening to a podcast. So someone might be working out, someone might be uh, cleaning their house, someone might be driving, someone probably is in the kitchen cooking things and listening to this podcast, listening to this recording. Maybe someone might be studying, someone might be working some brainless repetitive thing that doesn't require much like thinking. It can be done with podcast as a distraction. So that's the audience, and most of these people, they're they're alone at that, in those moments when they're listening to podcast. Like, sure, they might be surrounded by the people, but you are there as a podcaster to give them company. You are there to be friend of your audience, essentially. When they're doing something alone, they're putting on their headphones, they might be listening to a speaker in their cars, something something like that. So you're just there to give them company, and as a friend. And you know what, I think the diary thing, it's just what I need, probably, to make it work. I just, how do I put this? You know how like vlogs were popular, but writings are also popular, like stream of consciousness writing. There's this thing called stream of consciousness writing, and those are like excellent diary forms of diary in traditional diary written diaries. Vlogs are like video diaries, and through podcast I'm trying to bunny uh, through podcast I'm trying to essentially combine the stream of consciousness style in with like digital in a digital format, and that's why I'll be treating this podcast as a diary from from now on. And I think excellent rants might come out if I'm thinking about things, and I just, you know what, let's just about this, think about like some topic out loud instead of just thinking in my brain and like shower thoughts basically. Like if I put if I can put my shower thoughts and my thoughts in my solitude into an audio form, basically thinking out loud, then it's just a rant. It's just a rant, and that's what I need to like develop strongly, is that rant muscle, like spontaneous talking like that. You know, I don't really talk much. And I'm an I'm an introvert, like extremely introverted. I don't really talk much. But if I'm interested in something, I can talk for hours and hours. And then I'm ranting. You know, I'm just talking about some things, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to rant and rant and rant and rant and keep going. And I guess that's what I want to do with this podcast from now on, because I've tried to listen to my own podcast, and I I can't listen to it. It's the scripted format is not working at all. So I need to change that. I need to make it more spontaneous, make it more natural. Like I said, like the core audience, I'm I want to be there to give them company. I just don't want like I don't want to make a show out of it. You know, I don't want to be a show. This is just a conversation. This is just monologue or dramatic monologue, I guess. And yeah, I'm basically there to give them company, and you don't really give your friends company by scripting your conversations. So why should a podcast be scripted? It doesn't make sense unless you're getting like news from your podcasts. Unless that's what you're looking for. You want to get news in your while you're driving to work or something in the morning. Then that might make sense. But otherwise, scripting your podcast doesn't really make sense. And yeah, that's what I that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to script my podcast. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, hopefully my podcast is little more enjoyable, at least to me, because listening to those episodes, uh, it's kind of rough. It's really rough, and I don't want to listen to myself. It's like which is pitiful. It's just pitiful. At least you should be able to like listen to yourself if you want to be interesting. If you cannot be just interesting to yourself, how can you be interesting to other people? And and I want to make a career out of self expression, and call it ambition, call it goal. A lot of people, they go like, you should be enjoying yourself, you should do this for money or whatever. But I want to enjoy myself, but also I want to make money. Like, not just one goal. I can have one financial goal and one personal goal, I guess. And that's the goal I have, at least for now, with the podcast. So let's see how it goes. Well, thank you so much for attending my rant, attending my TED talk about how should I do podcast, right? Even though I've literally have no audience. Yeah.